Car number 6. Mark Martin has called it a day.
You know, with Rusty, I'm not sure if it was just a set of tires or not, because it seems like he's having a difficult time working his way back up there, even without that poor set of tires that he had.
Yeah, I think Rusty's I think Rusty's got some problems, more than just tires. He's just, you know, it's not the kind of race that you see Rusty Wallace run, especially here. He loves this racetrack and does well here, but he's just not coming on strong right now.
It would be too bad if it wasn't a full performance for some mechanical reason. Daytona and Talladega have treated him so badly. Back up in front another time. There's Earnhardt. There's Brett Bodine. And there is Dale Jarrett in the 18 car in that 4th slot, having a great day. How about Ricky Rudd in 5th? His own team. Good job they've done. With a report on the Earnhardt car, here's Dick Bergman.
Well, for the Earnhardt fans that were concerned that Dale dropped back there on that restart, you don't need to be concerned. I've just talked to Andy Petrie. He said the car is just fine, no problem. But Andy's got a concern. His concern is with that 7 car, Jeff Bodine. He says that guy, he can take off on us anytime he wants. Petrie has figured out that Jeff Bodine can be half a second a lap faster anytime he wants to be. But Jeff Bodine, one sharp cookie, is running that race car just hard enough to stay there. To Ricky Craven. Ricky?
Mark, I know this late in the season, this is a very helpless feeling. Sorry that this is where you ended up. Tell us about it.
Well, something broke in the engine, probably a cylinder wall or something. I didn't know how, I didn't think we were going to run good today, but I tell you what, of course, I didn't run with the 7 car. But of all the cars I was around, this Valvoline car was really awesome through the corners. But the engine started giving trouble from the very start. And I was down on 7 cylinders and could keep the leaders in sight most of the time, even down on 7, because the handling was so good. Really hate it. I feel like we just gave away 3rd in the point standings. You know how that is.
Yeah, I do, Mark. Mark didn't think that he was going to run good today, but everybody else here knew he was going to run good. He's a racer. He'll be back with us at Rockingham.
Cram race story here, folks. Take a look at this as you watch Jeff Bodine. Lap leaders thus far in this event. Ward Burton out in front early. Led. John Andretti took it away. And then Ward Burton, while leading, had a terrible crash. Socked it in the wall. Heartbreaker for the South Boston, Virginia racer. And then it gets back into the old story here. Seen a lot of Earnhardt and Wallace. Seen a lot of Bodine and Earnhardt out here today. Some of those were under caution as people were dropping in. Those green flag stops gave a lot of people a crack at 5 points.
You know, the 2nd place car we see on the screen here is Greg Sachs, and he is 1 lap down, but his car is running awfully well. And he got pretty far behind there on that one long green flag stretch because he was blistering tires, and he was concerned about it, and I think he backed it off a little bit. Now he's trying to get back in that lead lap so he can get right back into the thick of this.
19th at the present time, 1 lap down. He is the first car in that 1 lap down category. Following him in 20th is Mike Wallace now, then Musgrave and Hillen 22nd. There you see Mike Wallace in that 90 car that we were talking about. He is now in 20th. Sandwiched in there is the 12 of Derek Cope. That car is in 11th. Up on the outside is Kenny Wallace.
I think those 3 cars have been racing each other all day long. Now Michael Waltrip's right behind them. He has been up in the 4th and 5th position for a lot of this race. I'm not sure why he got behind, but he's got a good car today.
Schrader and Kenny Wallace. That's for 9th. Derek Cope trying to get a piece of that one too. Michael Waltrip had a very long pit stop, like 31 seconds, and that dropped him out of that lead group.
That explains it.
Sure looks like he's got him running now, though, doesn't he?
I'd say he's going to work his way back up into that top 5, it looks like. But he's got a ways to go. He's fighting back there at 10th, 11th, and 12th.
He's cutting right through them now. The yellow flag actually saved Michael and got him back in the hunt. Remember that caution flag that came out?
Okay.
At 31-second stop. And then there was the yellow flag.
Okay.
And that saved his bacon out here today. Kept him in the lead lap. Usually 31 seconds plus slow down and start up. Your history out here. He got a break on that caution. So Michael Waltrip continues to wind back through the field.
That's some good racing in there, Ken. They're side by side, and you're right. A lot of people.
Position racing out there. Look at Derek Cope having his own squabble with Schrader.
Nobody's letting up. Michael was clear up beside Kenny Wallace on the inside. Kenny just keeps digging out there on that outside, pulls back in front of him. Michael's coming at him again.
This battle's about 7 3/10 seconds back from the leaders. As you watch, Michael Waltrip trying to get back in this thing. Good run. Tries to overtake Bodine, Earnhardt, Bodine up in front. First, Brett Bodine having a great day, staying third, and Earnhardt sandwiched right in between them in the top three here. Well, joining us up here, Cale Yarborough alongside, and Billy Gibbons. In case you were wondering, this is Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. That's Cale Yarborough, in case you were. Good to have you here. I understand you are a race fan. You like this stuff a lot.
Yes, indeed. Been a fan of what goes on here for quite some time, and followed many careers for a long time. And we were happy to have this day of kind of upscale enthusiasm with us. Just absolutely great.
Nice to have you here.
Yeah, good to see you.
Hope you enjoy the race.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See, now he's old enough to be a Cale Yarborough fan.
Right.
Jeff Bodine still out in front with 191 laps down. We're well past the halfway. There's still a great concern about weather. Yeah. There's concern with Bodine that it doesn't rain soon enough, and with everybody else, there's.
That's
Come
right.
on, give us another 50 miles out here. Interval first to second stands a little over 3 seconds, by which Bodine is leading Earnhardt in the Mello Yello 500. Take a look at Jeff Gordon.
They've got Jeff's car working a lot better now, Ken. He's really getting the job done now.
Pulled up to 5th, dropped Ricky Rudd back to 6th.
And Ricky's coming right up into the thick of it. You know, he's been very impressive this year with his own team. Right up there in the point standing. He's been to victory lane. I'm impressed by Ricky.
Well, he won here in May, won at Indianapolis, and I think he's been so positive for the racing world. I loved what he said after he won Indy. He won, what, $600,000? He said the money doesn't mean anything. What means something is to have won the first race that we ever ran in Indiana. That means everything. Those baseball people look smaller and smaller and smaller. So here's Jeff Gordon up to 5th. With 2 wins under your belt, Jeff, has the pressure to perform increased out here in 1994?
Well, I think now the pressure's off. I think the pressure was to win a race or 2 races or so. You know, we've done that. We've been very consistent this year. I'm real happy with the season that we've had, and I don't feel the pressure. I mean, if it's there, you know, we just try to go out and put pressure on ourselves to go out there and perform and win.
Great battle he's in right now. Here he is closing in on Dale Jarrett for 4th. Just in front of the Brett Bodine. And the tempo picks up a little. Begins to quicken as Gordon puts some punch back in this race. It had stabilized for a while. Not anymore. And it's this 23-year-old kid out of Pittsboro, Indiana, that's going to put the spark back in this one with 195 laps now complete of 334. Let's see what he'll do with Jarrett and with Brett Bodine.
And Dale Earnhardt is just barely outside of that picture. There he is. He's not very far in front of him in the 2nd position.
take a look at the running order and understand it's more than 3 seconds as Bodine continues to just drive away out here this afternoon, Cale.
He sure got it hooked up, Ken, I'll tell you. He's the Hoosier Tires, you know, can't do all that much. Jeff is just such a good chassis man, and he's got that good team behind him, and he's just got it hooked up. He's getting through these corners better than anybody else, and that's where he's making most of his time.
Well, he's had 12 DNFs this year, but when this car is up there and running, it's a wonderful thing to watch. A look at number 30. Still very much a part of this action.
Rusty's working with his car. He's starting to pick his way by. He got by his brother Kenny, and he got by Lake Speed there, and Joe Nemechek. He's gradually working his way up there.
Up to 13th. Number 2, Rusty Wallace, back up to 13th.
12th, Derek Cope right in front of him, and right in front of Derek is Michael Waltrip, 11th position.
Speed 144, about 10 miles under the record. 154 miles an hour, 154.537. That record belonging to the great Ernie Irvan. 3 hours, 14 minutes, 31 seconds. He turned this event, defending champion. Well, here's Derek Cope getting a trunk full of Rusty Wallace. That's for 11th now. Down to the inside as Rusty continues to snarl through the field. Rusty Wallace trying to break back into the top 10. Gets himself 11th position. He goes looking for Michael Waltrip in 10th.
It seems like the other competitors are dropping off a little bit more than Rusty is. I don't think he's blistering fast, but I think he's maintaining what speed he had a little bit better than some of the competition right now.
Well, you got to look at the interval for just a moment there, and Wallace is definitely closing down car number 30, taking a higher line through turns 1 and 2 as he tries to close in and move back to the top 10. Bodine still leads, and now by about 3 3/10 of a second over the second place man. Rusty Wallace is back in the hunt. Are you still running for the championship? Ready to throw in the towel out there, Rusty? What about it?
No, I'm definitely still running for it. I mean, we got 4 races left, and when it gets right down to 1 or 2, then it's going to get tough. But if I can make some ground, some significant ground these next 2 races, I'm probably be looking pretty good.